My name is Ryan Davis. I am a Senior Product Marketing Manager at ExtraHop, and I'm going to walk you guys through a couple case studies that we have that highlight different features that our customers were able to receive. The first one is around the Home Depot. So when most people think of the Home Depot, they think of an online retailer or a physical retail location, a home improvement retailer. When you ask Home Depot what they think of themselves as a technology company. They develop hundreds, if not thousands, of applications, things from deck builder to an application that allows contractors to bid on different projects. And there's also their online presence. So they have a buy online, pick up in store application. And all of these different applications need to run smoothly, seamlessly for their customers. And they have deployed ExtraHop to ensure that this application delivery works efficiently. So one of the other use cases is around kind of their large-scale migration to PaaS environments, and they required an agentless model deployment to monitor their application performance. Some of the stats around the improvement that they saw: the 56% application performance improvement, 40% increase in revenue for their buy online, pick up in store service. The next use case is around a Fortune 500 retailer who focuses on video games. And as most retailers, they tend to see a large amount of their revenue come in between the days of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And so they would see a large uptick in online orders from a typical day around 700,000 to nearly 4 million orders just on Black Friday alone. And so they needed to leverage ExtraHop to help ensure that the PCI data was secure and to ensure that there were no downtimes with their deployment, specifically during these key days in the calendar year. They also helped to reduce their cloud spend. With the accurate capacity plan. They were actually able to leverage ExtraHop to predict what their stores would be doing on a certain day based on an hourly outlook of data. So they use this as a capacity planning for how they were doing towards hitting their overall daily and yearly numbers.
I'm curious, what metrics were they using that you were exposing to make that sort of predictive analysis for scale?
And on top of that, were they using NPM or RevealX?
This company was using our performance product.
Okay, NPM.
And the metrics that Jeff, if you want to kind of jump in on what metrics might be.
Yeah, so at a high level, we're looking at transaction rates, error rates, and being able to break down transaction rates not just into, say, individual transaction types, but also do that by resource. So, for instance, by URI on a front-end web server.
Okay.
Yep.
So just monitoring that and seeing when to scale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I would say like the other thing to add there is looking at measuring the transaction timing, right, for each of those. So that became, the performance degradation became sort of the canary in the coal mine.
Okay, so you're not looking at CPU memory, you're actually looking at
Correct.
Session latency.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
And no historical information as far as last year, what happened last year at this time of year?
That's a great question. So for this particular customer, they had not been deployed for more than 12 months, so they didn't have that comparison point to the prior year. But if they had been deployed for that long, then they would have had that comparison.
So visually, are you guys going to show us how you connect those business outcomes to these data points?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That'll be in the demo.
Yeah, at the end of the presentation, we'll have a demo that Jeff will run to walk you through the UI and everything that you can see within the product.
And then in that UI, I don't know if that or you can make mention to it, just kind of hero dashboards that you can show people who don't care about the demo. So, kind of like, oh, because you invested in ExtraHop, and we saw this, we specifically, these categories or whatever, the transactions, blah, 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 whatever executive stuff that people in the room don't care about, but I have to sell. Just be cool bonus points.
You got it. All right, the next use case is around a multinational fast food chain who is trying to digitally transform their company to meet the needs of the consumer as they become more digitally wanting food delivered specifically to wherever location they're at. So this basically gets into things like Uber Eats, Postmates, MealPal, for those in Seattle, something like Peach. And this fast food chain needed to focus on these initiatives to roll out their delivery app. And they leveraged ExtraHop to help kind of provide that visibility into this application rollout. And so we were able to help improve that customer experience, to support this fast food chain through this process, and provide the visibility through the whole application delivery chain. The last customer story is around CURO. And this one is interesting because it really brings an inflection point between the SOC and the NOC. And so at ExtraHop, we've kind of playfully thrown around a term called the SNOC, which alludes to the fact that we're seeing more and more of our customers. Traditionally, the SecOps and the NetOps teams have been siloed, but we're seeing more and more of our customers merge these two groups together. And they're leveraging a common tool or data source to provide insights for both network and security. And so CURO has done a great job of using ExtraHop in both the SecOps and NetOps side of the business, and it helped align them from their kind of online banking all the way to their remote offices and branch offices and banks.